I don't care nothing about this industry, nothing about this money, it can all go as long as those stay intact.
Now, nigga, that's excellence. Most of them stay strapped, cause it be no testing, bro.
You showed your ass in them 3 cheating, doing drugs, doing it. Now you gotta fix all that, right?
The universe of God, so we living forever, bro. They call us black. Now, nigga, that's excellence. Most of them stay strapped, cause it be no testing, bro. You can take it to the...
Yo, what's up, everybody? Dr. Ryan Ross here, coming to you with another Real with Ross, but this is the podcast version, folks. So we're going more than 2 minutes. We're taking a deep dive, and this podcast is about having conversations with everyday people doing extraordinary things. And I have the honor and privilege of sitting with Baux. I am Baux on all social media platforms. I know this brother as Cameron Florence, and it's an honor and a privilege to sit down with not only my favorite artist, but one of my favorite people. You know what I mean? And and it's real, man. You're my brother from another mother. You know, different blood, but the family thing goes through and through with us. And I've had the opportunity, Cam, to watch you do so many things. And that's you know. But most importantly, I think it's being a father. I think it's being a community servant. I think it's being an entrepreneur, and obviously it's being an artist. And so that being said, I think for the average person, doing these things is just a matter of hard work. It's ethic. But I think with you, it's been a little bit different, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
And I'm just gonna jump in, right? And I'm gonna talk about why it's been different, right? Because I've watched you master a wide variety of things, but then I've also watched you struggle, right? And there was this hidden struggle for so long, and it comes to find out, before we even touch on music, that you have borderline personality disorder. Talk to me about that, bro.
First off, I want to say thank you for having me. For being, first guest on this podcast endeavor. You've been big bro for years now, and so it was only right that I come and do the show. But for me being the first, it's, that's an honor. So thank you for that. Man, BPD. It's new to me as far as understanding that I have that title.
Right.
But knowing something's been wrong, I've been knowing that since I was, a little kid. It's one of those things that kind of give me clarity now, a little bit of relief. I kind of feel like for the past, whatever odd years of life and adulthood and teenage years, this weight has been lifted off me now because I know what it is. I have a diagnosis. I have something attached. I know what to, to research, what help to get, right? But, other than that, it's it's definitely a relief, but it kind of, at the same time, makes it even more heavy because I know what it is. I know that it's real now, right? It's no longer the stigma that we throw around in, our community, meaning our skin color community, that crazy title, because of the life circumstances, right? Understanding now this is actually a disorder. This is not just, he just crazy.
Right. So, and it's funny that you say that, right? Because when you think about our community, me, you, doesn't even matter. Something's not right, something's not wrong. You get 3 responses. Boy, go pray. Go take some Robitussin, take a nap, talk to a preacher, right? And so what was it like, getting that kind of response? But still feeling like, it's cloudy, something's not right. I mean, it was always feeling alone because, growing up and the first person I presented it to was my mother. But to understand BPD first and foremost, so what borderline personality disorder is and how I'm understanding it and starting to understand it, is that it's a disorder that deals with specifically 3 areas. That's your relationships, that's your emotions, and that's yourself, the way you look at yourself, right? And so growing up, let me take a step back. It's triggered by a childhood trauma, as well as I'm learning something to do that's chemically imbalanced in the brain, right? And so the childhood trauma itself, or some type of trauma throughout life, is what offsets it, is the biggest piece. And so, rest in peace to my mother.
because of the things that she dealt with in her life, and I do believe that she also had borderline personality disorder. She kind of put me in a space, in a position where I was verbally and physically abused as a child.
Right.
And so, but she still was also the only person I could confide in as a child. And so, because I was the oldest. And so I would go to her with these feelings and these thoughts and say, Mom, I was just happy when I woke up and I went to go, use the bathroom, and I come out the bathroom and I want to punch a hole in the wall.
Right.
And it was, oh boy, you're crazy like your daddy, right?
Right.
Or it was, you need to stop watching all that stupid TV, this, that, and the third. Or, it was always something external and not internal.
Right.
Never took, any type of I wanted to have understanding about what's going on with me. So that transitioning to being bullied at school because I didn't like to listen to the rapping and hip hop because it put me in that state of aggression and wanting to fight and wanting to do all of that. And that's what that's probably a side of the story I never told of as of why I didn't listen to rap until I turned 16 years old. It was because rap music made, even whether it was Will Smith, LL Cool J, it put me in a state of making me want to be aggressive. And it wasn't until I got old enough to understand how to channel it the right way. I just stayed away from it. So it was always R&B and rock and roll and Rascal Flatts and country, different things like that. And so I was bullied. The teachers didn't understand. So all around, aunties, uncles, nieces, not nieces at the time, cousins, things of that nature. Nobody understood me. And so it was just always a state of being alone and feeling alone. But I knew something was wrong because I'm like, there's no way these emotions, these feelings are turning on and turning off this damn fast.
Right.
It's not possible. Something's not right. No regular person is going through this and I can't stop it.
Right.
And when I'm in it, I can't control it.
Yeah. And what's interesting about borderline personality disorder, right? If you follow psychology folks or if you have any kind of background in this kind of thing, borderline personality disorder is, it makes you like a unicorn in a sense. Yeah. Right? Less than 1.5% of our population have it.
Have it in general. And then I think it's even less than that for men. I think it's even less than 1%. It might even be less than that. But for black males, because we're misdiagnosed. Right. Not even just black males. Males in general are from what I'm learning and understanding, are more prone to be diagnosed with PTSD or bipolar. Yeah, the BPD. The different extremes of it, right? Yeah. And so simply because for so long it's been contributed to a woman's disorder. Right. And so now we're learning, no, this is not just a woman's disorder. This is a disorder that, it goes across, the lines. I remember doing DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy. I think I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. And I did a 10-week inpatient outpatient program. And so it was crazy to sit in a room of 36 different people 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. And being, locked in here to where they like, you can't go. And if you do, we're going to have the sheriffs come and get you. Like, you got to be here. But the irony or the crazy thing was seeing people that looked like me, but then also seeing just diversity, seeing African-American males, white males, Asian males, Spanish males, white women, black women, and just all of them saying the same thing that I've said for so many years, right? Right. But always saying, again, I felt alone. But now I'm in a room with 36 people that said the same thing that they felt alone, but now we all saying, wow, we ain't alone, right? Right. And so I think for me that has been the biggest piece in this whole journey and to help me get over, because it's daily. Right. Like even now I feel alone. Right. In a room of, me, you, videographers and different things, I still feel alone. I walk around daily with this emptiness, but that's just BPD. It's not a chronic disorder. They say you can get over it, but it comes with the work. It comes with the therapy, the work. And so I'm a year into it now, a year into the work, and so it's a daily fight. Yeah, it's a daily fight. But
so man, 30 plus years of having a mixture of relationships. Some work, some not work, some go up and down. You not necessarily understanding why, or maybe even perceiving things in a relationship that weren't there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So in that moment, what was it like to get a diagnosis, right? And all of a sudden you're like, it's not me. Yeah. Right? Like, what did that feel like? And what did you learn? And what would you share with people who might be going through what you're going through?
So I think in the moment that I got my diagnosis, when the doctor came back in after, days, weeks of different appointments, this therapist, and they finally was, it's legit. I think for me it was, it was weird. It was like relief as well as fear, as well as embarrassment, all three at the same time. And I think the reason why was relief because, okay, finally, I ain't crazy.
Right.
Y'all been telling me I'm crazy. No, something just wrong with you. Yeah, I know that, but it ain't the type of wrong that y'all trying to tell me. The devil in you. You need to get the prayer up out. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, because you ain't in the church house. You ain't doing this. I'm not following all these rules and regulations that society has set. Through our different platforms, religion or this thing or that thing. And so since you're not following those, that's why you're going through that. That's why you're crazy. That's why this is happening to you. But now I'm understanding, no, this is scientifically, something's wrong with me. I get that. The embarrassment, because it's like, nah, I'm the strong one though.
Right.
I'm the one people come to for advice and
my shoulders are big, right? I got the broad shoulders.
Exactly. How can I be broken and help them still, right? That's gonna be embarrassed because now they gotta know that. And then I think the fear is because it's now the people around you, there's this tendency, especially with men,
right?
And the emotion realm. When men tend to tap into their emotions, it's shunned upon. It's looked at like a weakness. Mama's boyish, sensitive, right? Women, when a man is too sensitive or starts to, not even too sensitive, just starts to blend into that realm of sensitivity, things like, I don't want a weak man get said, right? And so a man is really not able to express anything but masculinity in the society.
Right.
And so now that fear creeps in of, okay, what happens when I get into the episodes, and I call them episodes, right? The episode of sadness that turns into that depression that I'm locked in. And I'm telling, a family, a friend, a significant other, a spouse, or things of that nature, and they're taking it and saying, oh, you're just using that as an excuse to not do X, Y, and Z or to do X, Y, and Z, right? And so that was always a fear. And then now that then says, all right, well then I'm gonna have to internalize this journey and not allow people in, but then that even becomes detrimental, right?
Right.
So then it becomes a play of now trusting, for me, God and the ancestors to say, okay, remove those people out of my life that are not going to help my journey and replace them with who will. But then at the same time, help me through the grieving process.
Right.
That's what people don't ask for. Help me through the grieving process of losing that person, whomever they were. Because at this point, my healing, my life is more important than any relationship situation that I have, right? Yeah. And so that's how I've kind of gauged and been looking at it.
Right. So I'm gonna switch gears, sort of, right?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite songs that you got is Caliber.
Okay.
What's the caliber, baby? You know what I mean? And I like that song because one, it's just dope lyrically. It's dope. The beat, all of that. But what I really like about Caliber is because it makes me think about you. You are a different caliber of person. And I thought that song was appropriate. Just the word was appropriate because when I think about you, right? So we're talking about this mental health journey, right?
Yeah.
But I also know you've experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of grief. You've lost a mother.
Oh yeah.
You've lost a sister. You've lost countless people, right?
Yeah.
There's some dysfunctional relationships in the family, right? Your father, you've experienced a divorce, right?
Died a couple times.
You coded 3 times, right? A lot of people don't know, like you literally, Tupac, Biggie, Baux, like, you know what I mean? Like, we almost lost you, right? You coded 3 times, but here you are, standing tall, following your dream. You're a different caliber, in my opinion, a person.
I appreciate that.
How'd you get here, man? Like, why are you still standing?
Man, honestly, man, by the grace of God and the ancestors, that's the only thing I can equate it to. I've been asking that question since I was 12.
Right. Like,
why am I here? What am I here for? I don't think I've understood it until recently. And so, it's just, I don't know. I can remember being 12 years old, and there's just one story. I mean, there's many stories just throughout life.
Right.
But there's one in particular that stick in my head when I was 12 years old, and I can remember sitting outside in front of a crack house, and we all know off of Colfax and Verbena, that big white building over there. And so this was my mom at the time was jugging and playing when she was doing the thing before she got, you know, addicted to the drugs. And so I remember sitting out in front of that building with my little brother in the back seat sleep. In a white Chevy Nova, early 90s. Mid-90s. And I can remember it was dead cold winter, probably around this time. But it was real snowy outside. And I remember sitting in that front seat and just like saying to myself, at that point, I don't want to be here no more. I'm tired. Right. And thinking like, I was 12 at the time. Right. Saying I'm already tired. Man, because I had already fought so many, physically and literally fought so many men because of my mom's dealings and interactions. Right. You know, dealing with, you know, different women. At that point, I tell people I lost my virginity when I was 9 years old. 12 years old. I started watching porn when I was 9. Right. I lost my virginity at 12 till somebody was 25, right? I didn't have sex with anybody my age until I turned 19. Right. But I had maybe more than 25 partners before the age of 19. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so it's, you know, I think about the life and just all of there's many stories. The stories I have, if they was put on screen, like I would have blockbusters. The things couldn't be brought up in their dreams. And so I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. I can't take any credit for it, but I can take credit for it because I was sitting back the other day.
You got to take credit for it because you're doing the work.
Yeah.
You know, other people have quit.
Yeah.
And you still one foot in front of the other, and I've seen it.
Well, it's crazy you say that because the other day I actually did a song. I wrote a song. I'm constantly doing music, and it's called "Fight for My Life." And so this song is literally me. It's like an ode to the devil. Not even an ode, a decree to the devil to let him know like we still fighting. Because I think because since I died in 2020 and I, you know, came back, I think there's been this unspoken thing that, you got too comfortable. You think because everything going smooth, I'm not still here. I can't still wreck shit. I can't still take from you. Right. Like I took your mind, like I took. And so what I had to, let him know, you didn't take anything without God's, the divine's, permission. But it's more like me knowing, like letting him know, like, yo, we still fighting. I'm still here.
Like
we
I'm
still
here.
banging.
I still want all the smoke, right?
I'm not scared of you. We still gonna go because my grandmother told me when I was 7 years old before she died, God rest her soul. God told me to tell you that he placed something inside of you that the devil does not want to get out, and he gonna fight you to the day that you die. I'm apologize to you now. You will never have a normal life. He will fight you to the day you die. You're gonna always go through something, but you will have everything that your human life ever desires. And everybody that comes in contact with you is gonna have that as well. And you're gonna impact hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Now, this was when I was 7 years old. Right. You transition through life. I'm looking for this thing, that thing, signed a Def Jam here, that fell off, got a single deal over here for Warner Brothers at the age of 19, that fell off. It's like, what in the world? Left it alone, got in the churches, then had many lives. I tell people I'm the Benjamin Button in reverse, right? Right. And so to get to this point now and be like, dang, I survived all that. And then to look over here and see people that have had less and just crashed and burned. Right. Yeah, I gotta do that a little bit, so.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back. And I think, you might disagree, but I think that also means that there's some responsibility that comes with that, right? Like,
oh man, too much sometimes.
You've been here, you've been through these things, you've overcome them, and so now, what do you do with that? Yeah. And I think that, if I can be so bold as to impose this thought on you, I think that watching you have multiple businesses successful, right? I've seen you. A cake business, internet company, marketing, healthcare. Like I've seen you literally touch a variety of things and all of them do very, very well, but you never seem to be settled or happy. Yeah. Right? I watch you do this music. Yeah. And first I'm gonna say you're not a rapper. Nah. You can rap your ass off. I'm not a rapper at all. But you're not a rapper. No, I'm not a rapper at all. Because
I tell people I put words together good, that's all.
I've watched you much like your business pursuits. I've watched your music come together, right? Some of the dopest 16s I've heard put together ever, and that's no cap, right?
I appreciate it.
So there's the rap. Then I look up, it's reggae. Then I look up, there's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Then I look up, there's poetry. And it all hits and it all tells a story. And I think it all, if somebody listens to your music, it resonates.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that. Like, what made it click to say, all right, this is what I'm gonna focus on.
Yeah.
This is where I'm gonna channel my brilliance. This is how I'm gonna give back to the masses. Like, what made you finally decide to, I'm gonna go 10 toes deep here?
Honestly, that came from that didn't even come from me. That came from that really came from my partner, my close partner, Blake C.
Okay.
I had left the music alone for forever, just because I was done with it after I lost the Warner Brother deal, and it was just like a single deal, and I had submitted so many songs, and they were just like, it's not it, and so many words, they just stopped messing with me, and so had a bitter taste in my mouth. I was done with music, and so he had this thing going on with music, and so his family is actually the Dungeon family.
Okay.
And so he's tied into the Dungeon family, and so he was, down, him and his other cousin on his mom's side were down in Atlanta doing some music, and so I was doing some mixing and engineering for him. So they, getting ready to go down there.
Another one of your talents, engineering.
Yeah. So listen, I don't know why I have so much. I could, it's like kind of like my mama used to call me, which is probably why it's one of my favorite songs. I cannot think of the group. Moonstar. Moonstar, Midas Touch. And so everything I touch turns to gold. My mom used to say, you the Midas. And so shout out to Midas, Gary. No, he ain't trying to steal from Gary. But nonetheless, it's just like everything I touch. But so they was doing that, and fast forward, something fell apart. They came back. They had to redo stuff. They didn't even know I did music. And so he had put a song on. I jumped on the song, sent it back. They was kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of dope. And then him and Gip's younger brother, Pat, shout out to Pat, jumped on the phone and was like, hey man, we think you got something. We want you to see if you can, put something together. Let's see if we can get going. And so for a year, I just kind of worked on just doing the music. And so for me, it was really Gip, Pat, and Blake that got me back into the music. But when I first did it for like the first 6 months, it was just a rap.
Right.
And so they was like, yeah, you hard, but you're gonna fall into the sea of other cats because everybody wants to sound like, Lil Baby, Polo G, other cats like that.
Right.
But you got something else. Like let's focus on that. And so that was the stuff I was scared of because I was bullied for that as a child.
Right.
Coming up, like I was bullied because I wanted to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers. Because I listened to Nirvana, Teen Spirit, or like I said, the Rascal Flatts. Ray Charles is my favorite. I listen to Beatles and shit like that. Stuff like that. And so
you good? We on the internet, baby. You good?
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, it was like, all right, man, let's just go ahead and do it. And once I did that, that's what got my IG, Snapchat and all that from the 500 followers, and it just slowly started going up on its own. And I'm kind of looking like, man, I like this stuff. Man, stop playing, right? Thinking it's cap. And so I started, paying attention and investing and looking at algorithms and things of that nature and analytics. Like, wow, this is legit. And so that's what made me start putting a little bit more money into it and start doing a little more of the music. And then finally, I got enough courage to say, all right, let me present this to Gip them. And so I did that. And they said, man, get your butt down here to Atlanta. And so went to Atlanta, and it's been going crazy ever since. So yeah,
so you messed around and said, I still got it. I'm on to something.
Man, I, just trying to. I think that's what the purpose is now. I think that's why I've kind of slowed down on everything else, and it's kind of like, all right, we're just gonna focus on this music because I think it's not even just the music. I think it's the message behind the music. Again, I'm a black male in America that has a disorder, but I'm talking about it. Right. A rare disorder, I'm talking about it, and I'm effectively working on it. But I'm using my musical platform to get the message. I don't know what's gonna go, right? Yeah. Music's probably the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I feel like I'm the next Will Smith, if you ask me. But that's just me. Some people will say I'm cocky for that or a narcissist about that, but I don't feel like musically there's anybody that can touch me right now. And that's respectfully because there's nothing that hasn't been released. And so this is a space, and that's a statement that I've never said, and I've never felt that I've been able to say that because, again, I've always felt like there's always somebody better than me than that. There's always somebody better than they can at basketball, football, running, playing this, playing that, getting at the ladies, things of that nature. But when it comes to their music, when it comes to these words, ain't nobody messing with me.
You hitting on all cylinders. That's what's up. So Borderline Personality. The project is out. You have had listening parties. You've been on New Music Mondays. You've been on social media. Lots of great feedback. What are you most proud of about the project?
I'll probably say the thing that I'm most proud of about the project is that I had the courage to put it out. Had the courage to be transparent.
Right.
This is actually just the first installment. Not necessarily being called Welcome to Borderline Personality Disorder, which is available on all your streaming platforms, people, Spotify.
Yo, go
YouTube,
pick up the stuff, like right for real. Like, it's my guy, but you want a vibe? Y'all better go get this music, y'all.
Stream that. But like, so after this, so I have Northside Switch Slim 2 is coming out.
Okay.
And so that's for the streets, that's for the hood, that's for the projects, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I kind of feel like I gotta. That's my little Wayne thing. I feel like Wayne, respectfully, and I'm not saying meaning the rapper that Wayne is or the work that he's done. I'm meaning the ethic that I hear Wayne talk about in interviews and documentaries. Cause see, that's me. I read books. I read, newspapers. I watch documentaries, things of that nature. So when I always hear Wayne's always talking about how he engulfs himself in the music.
Right.
The music becomes to him. And so I actually treat this music like my 9 to 5 as well as my girlfriend. Like I spend so much time with this music. And so for the past 2 years, that's all I don't listen to the radio. I can't tell you who's on the radio. If it ain't my music or the people in my camp music, I can't tell you what's out.
Right.
I don't know what videos is out. I literally just let my partners out. He said, you ain't watched AMAs, did you? I said, no, so I don't even know why I asked you. You need to go watch this one because it's people know they have to. You got to put it in front of me, otherwise I don't know, because that's how hard I've been going. And so,
locked in,
with that being stated, it's kind of like there's nobody respectfully messing with me. So I'm so locked in. I had that Wayne mentality. And so Wayne has like so many bags. I'm gonna give y'all albums to where it's on the level like, it's like, damn, huh? But then I'm gonna give you this street, you know what I'm saying? The one that's, it's like, the stuff I can't go commercial with.
Right.
And it's still the same quality, it's the same level. So that's what the Northside series is. So Northside Series 2, Switch Slam 2, I'll be out. And again, that's just for the streets. For those that, just wanna have that all rap, all trap, all hood, box vibe. I know everybody's not gonna vibe with the country vibe, with the R&B vibe, with the just the artist, with the pop star.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But that's why we got different bags for different people but they cohesively are still me, it sound like me, right? And so then New Year's, the High Corn Project. Now that's the one that's probably really going to change people's perception, really.
Right.
Again, that's what's gonna make people understand why I'm so cocky while I'm saying what I'm saying. Because I know I got a lot of people like,
right.
This
guy, right?
This dude, right? But keep watching because, again, the High Corn Project, that's the punk rock, that's the transition project, that's the pop project, that's the one that will be compared to the Billie Englishes and to the Taylor Swifts. That's what's gonna fall in that category. I hearing it now, listen, I went to Atlanta, and I seen them give people more for less, okay? And what I'm saying is the reaction that them people got, some of y'all favorites that y'all are subscribing to right now, buying their tickets, running them up right now, I'm talking about, didn't even get a quarter of on my mother's grade, didn't get the quarter of reaction, doors, windows open that I got. You feel what I'm saying? And so, the baby touched the stage out. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on right now and what's going to happen. So
that's what's up, man. I mean, we could do this all day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and just what you just said, talking about welcome to borderline personality disorder, Northside Slim 2,
yep.
Part 2, the High Corn Project, right? Like that just shows how hard you've been working and the work ethic. And I'll pay you the compliment, the Will Smith compliment, where he says nobody will outwork me.
Man,
and
I read his book twice, so.
And I've seen that, right? Like I watched you go underground for 2 years and work, miss parties, miss barbecues, miss birthdays, miss this, miss that.
And be mad about it, people. Let's be clear. I be mad, y'all. I be hot.
But call you where you at in the studio. Call you at where you at writing. Or the other one, where you at with my kids. And so I want to touch on that, man. You are a hell of a father.
So we living forever, bruh. They called us black. Now, nigga, that's excellence. Most of us stay strapped, cause it be no testing, bruh.